Hello, and welcome, everyone. I don't need the glasses right now, but I can see without the red glasses. I can read. Welcome. My name is Lizzy. For the ones that don't know me yet, we are on all social media right here, right now on our YouTube channel, and many social media as well. We are back. We were yesterday celebrating Earth Canadian Thanksgiving. We're here in Toronto, if you not aware, Toronto, Canada, and I am so excited to be able to bring to you two incredible ladies with an incredible cause. Some of you know that I had almost 2 years or a year, and so a little bit off because of my father illness, which passed away. And terminal illness and palliative care is very important subject, very dear to my heart. Unbelievable. You have no idea, because my mom and I took care of my father at home. So we're going to talk about this today. It's a very touchy subject, but it needs to be talked. It needs to be said. It needs to be commented. It needs to be helped. Here in Toronto, we have quite a bit of help, but not all the provinces are like that. And obviously, in many places in the world, there is not near as much as help. We're going to go to a tiny little town, which I had the privilege actually visiting. Alberta. Some of you know, I used to live in Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, all over this beautiful Canada. And Lethbridge is a place that I love. They have one of the most amazing bird of prey center in Canada, to my view anyways. So I'm very familiar with Lethbridge. My daughter's best friends lived in Lethbridge, so we visited quite often, and I'm going to bring two ladies from Lethbridge. So yes, by the way, our chats are open not only here on our YouTube channel, but also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. I mean, you can see the list. It's huge. And so if you want to connect with us, if you want to say hi, if you want to interact, we love interaction questions. The chat is open, and I will be displaying your comments or your questions. I will be posting it so you can have an idea, and that way you can see right here. So I'm saying hi, so you will be able to interact with us. So without further ado, let me give you a tiny little bit overview of this incredible organization. It's called Guided Journey. And Guided Journey is a foundation that is registered, a nonprofit charitable organization dedicated to providing our community with palliative care support, whether they may need it. Every moment it is precious for us. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. So we try to make each one count. We offer comfort, guidance, and compassionate care for palliative with life-limiting illness, and give their caregivers facing end of life bereavement. And I know from firsthand what that is like. I know firsthand that is very difficult. But when you have help, like a organization like Guided Journey, love the name, by the way. So we're gonna have a lot of questions. We will go through this a little bit. You know, I still get teary-eyed and I still get emotional. It's been 2 years, but it's difficult still, isn't it? Without further ado, and welcome with a wonderful Ramo. Hello, Celeste. Hello, Kinga. Welcome to the LizyT show. Virtually here, you are in Toronto, Canada.
Perfect. Thank you for having us.
It is a pleasure, an honor, and such a privilege to be able to talk about this, especially after what my mom and I went through. And I completely understand how difficult it is for some people, how challenging it is, how overwhelming. I can come up with a million words, and I'm so proud of you guys for founding this. So, Kinga, you're the founder. Can you tell us how? What motivated you? What inspired you? I mean, I should have thought of an organization like this because definitely there is a need. So, what happened personally in your life that you decided, you know what, we need to create an organization, Guided Journeys? I love the name. How did you come up with the name? Two questions.
That's a lot of questions. Absolutely. Well, I'm originally from a funeral directing background. I'm a licensed
Mm,
funeral director and embalmer. So I had the privilege of being able to work with families at the time of need. I also help families with aftercare. So after the funeral and arrangements, going over all the government documentation and dealing with the aftermath of a passing of a loved one. And I was always intrigued with what happens before. For me, it felt unfinished. I was able to walk them through their journey of the time of passing on, but it felt for me unfinished. So I came across Celeste through the families that I got to serve through Cornerstone. She came from a palliative background in nursing, and so many families were talking about Celeste. It's like, oh, we had the best nurse, we had the best care. I'm like, I need to meet her. And so we connected, and I heard her story and the level of care and everything she provided. And I'm like, somehow what I do and what you do, we need to bring that together and really take a step back and help families and help loved ones who are passing that much sooner so that their journey is not pleasant. It's not going to be pleasant either way. It's going to be a heartbreak on every level, but
yeah.
still to just make that transition and that journey a little easier.
Hmm.
And we talk about a lot too. It takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to come together and go through that grieving process. So we just
Absolutely.
want to make sure that we have all our families and our community lined up from the very beginning, that they find out that this is happening, to the very end.
Wow. Wow. Incredible. Incredible courage, incredible idea, incredible disposition to come up with that nonprofit organization to help people in need. And it's huge. I mean, it could last 3 months, 6 months, a year. In our case was about 3 years. And we know from, again, I know from firsthand what it's like and how much it takes. It's incredible. Celeste, as a nurse, why did you decide to get involved with this? I mean, obviously you've seen a lot of elderly suffering, not elderly per se, young people, people with cancer. And I know it's for some nurses that I've known many of them and many PSWs, personal support workers, that they used to tell me, once I leave here, I disconnect. I don't want to carry it with me. Are you an empath? What made you really get involved with guided journey?
Um, I had my mother passed away in palliative care, and at the time there were 6 kids in our family, and I really knew what my mom needed and what our family needed. So I chose a different path, and that was to go into palliative care. And I've been a palliative care nurse for 15 years, so it is a very specialized type of nursing. I've been blessed and honored to be able to make that end of life journey more comfortable for patients, but also for the families that I've looked after, and to support them through this and make it one of the most comforting experiences that they can have. So you mentioned Lethbridge, and for the size of Lethbridge, there is no hospice here, which is a freestanding palliative care center. So that kind of got us motivated that Lethbridge certainly needs something like that. We do have a palliative care unit here, but again, it's within a facility. It's not freestanding. It isn't as home-like as we'd like it. And we just thought we need something that would support the caregivers, their families, their loved ones, as the patient is on that journey. So
I
that's,
understand.
yeah,
Yes. So, in other words, you love this and you're dedicated and you cannot disconnect. You continue on. Who can I help next? How do I make a difference? How is my life going to impact another life? Both of you are like that, but as a nurse, I can see it definitely more as an impact. Um, for you, the creator, Kinga, what exactly is guided journey? I've mentioned, do you have a facility? People want to know a little bit more as to what entails. What exactly do you do? Do you have a building, or basically you guide a somebody to go along with a particular family? Give us a little bit of background. Give us a little bit of an idea what guided journey is.
Absolutely. So we don't have a facility yet. We are in the process of designing and drafting the blueprint now. We have come up with lots of ideas as to how we want to create this as to be as more home-like as possible for the patients, and not only for the patients, but for the families as well. We want to be able to make sure that they are able to stay 24 hours a day and have all their needs met. We are wanting this to be more on like a kind of serene, kind of a, I don't even know, holistic environment. So we're not looking at doing anything within the city. We do have land as of now that we are in the process of solidifying and getting, which is just on the outskirts of town. So this way we could just have a really nice away from it all setting, but yet
Yes.
not away from it all. So it's still going to be accessible to families that are traveling to all the necessities that they need, hotels, the hospital, and everything we are taking into fact as well for our palliative care team, the doctors and everything, just so that they're able to have as easy access as possible. We
Wow.
really want it to bring the outdoors in.
Of
Um,
course.
the design that we have right now is our building would be kind of like of a U shape with a courtyard in the middle. So each one of our patient rooms would have like a private lanai that could open up to have the bed go out as well, just so that
Wow.
you could stay in the outdoors and just enjoy as much of nature as possible. Along with that, rooms for families to stay, kitchens, dining rooms, walking paths, a lot of water, just a lot of earth elements we'd like to incorporate. So we are in the process of designing that. When we first launched, we had quite a few people come forward in the community with available properties already that they thought would be suitable for us. But we really have a strong vision as to what we're wanting. And not wanting to cut any corners. So
Wow.
it's going to go from the ground up just so we can create the most amazing space possible.
Incredible. That's a big dream, and I can see it's not so only a dream, it's becoming a reality. For
Yeah,
you to be able to have the land, that's a huge step. Unknowing here in Ontario, but I guess it's a little better, a bigger possibility in Alberta. So congratulations,
thank
Kinga,
you.
for that. It's incredible. I can't wait. We go west quite often, and love to visit once it's done, and love
Love
to visit
to have
to share. Yeah, it is unbelievable. I mean, and the way you describe it, Kinga, is just I want to be able to have nature. Absolutely. People that are leaving this earth, the worst thing that for them, I believe, is by the way, guys, it's my personal opinion, to have them cooked up in a place in a hospital where there is no light, not it's not personable. Again, we had our my father at home with the family until the very last day. I was the one that hold his hand when he took his last breath. So it was it was tough, but it was amazing, and I wouldn't have it. We wouldn't have it the other way.
yeah.
Um, Celeste, uh, for you as a nurse, do you guide the team that are going to people's home? Are you able to trained? What is your part with this group right now?
So my part at this point right now, there is a very strong palliative care team of
Yes.
doctors that support the community. So one of our goals with having a hospice is during the final days of that journey, that a family member can be the son or be the daughter or change the role of the caregiver, and that will be up to us. So with my palliative nursing, my goal will be to educate people, which we're doing a lot of right now, about what palliative care is and the need for a facility that we have. A lot of people just feel that palliative care means you're dying. So there's a lot of reluctance to talk about it. So it's understanding what palliative care is, how we can support those people, like say, however long that journey is, but the facility would support end of life. And our motto is every person should be able to have the absolute best care they can, to be in the most dignified, respectful place they can be,
Yes.
and that they can live every day until they die. So,
Wonderful.
so it's not a message of I'm dying from an illness, I'm living with an illness. So
Perfect.
make the absolute best final days that we possibly can for someone. And like I say, as a caregiver, you understand that too, that on the final few days, you as a caregiver can change that to just be the daughter and
So,
not necessarily the caregiver. So that's where our uptake is
yes, that should be the goal for every organization, but unfortunately, there are few, and I'm glad you are the exception of be able to see uh, the differences. And you hit it right on the nail. Education is very, very important. I am glad that you two are doing this incredible work. I will pass it on to everybody. I think we should have more and more organizations like yours. But some of you are wondering, Lizzie, you have shiny and you're all dressed up for a party. Well, those two ladies have something incredible coming up. I will give you a little bit of preview. So I thought I get dressed up already. I mean, I'm ready to party. So
Perfect. We're doing dressed up on the 26th, so we'll catch up to you, Lizzie.
no worries, no worries, no worries. Give me one. So, Frost and Flare. Kinga, I don't know who thought of this or what
Oh,
is
not
going on.
all
Can
board
you explain?
together, but also I'm not known to not like sparkly things. So the more sparkle and the more bedazzle, the better, personally. So I know we've had such an amazing response. We've had a lot happen this year. We just got incorporated in March. So we went from Celeste and I have been talking back and forth for a couple of years now, but really we had a big kickstart in January. Well, this finally needs to happen. So COVID, no COVID, anything like that. We're gonna move forward with this. Oh, everything happened extremely fast. We got our incorporation. We had our very first Walk to Remember, our very first fundraiser in June. Some trade shows and other fundraising events. So the community has really been very supportive, and we've just went from here to here. So we thought no better way to celebrate than a big gala, and also to kickstart our build. So with the land donation, now we're able to focus on getting this building up and making it a reality. So on November 26th, we are going to auction off parts of the build. Part of that, which was a really great idea brought over for someone in the community, was to auction off flagstone and building bricks that people could then have engraved. So whoever purchases these at the auction could then have their name on there. And those will be used in the actual build. So as people are walking through the building or the courtyard or the pathways, they can actually see all the people that came from forward in the community to make this a reality. Wow. So it's going to be a celebration and a kickstart as well to getting our building up off the ground there. So
Wow. So
yeah.
it is November the
November
20th,
the 26th. So it's at
26th.
the Norland Historic Event Center. Yes.
Beautiful. So it's a party, it's I get together, and obviously the auction. Now, a lot of people are wondering what is the cost? How do I get my brick? How do the auctions work? I want to be able to take part. It's going to happen in Lethbridge, obviously, Alberta. And the address, the website for you to share.
Absolutely. So all the event details are on our website, so guidedjourneys.ca. So everything's listed under there. So ticket purchases are available to be done on our website. There is sponsorship levels available as well that are still available for purchasing. So for companies or even individuals that would like to stand out a little more and have more formal recognition, we do have sponsorship levels available. Tickets are $150, and then tables of 8 are on for $1,200. And that does include, it is a black tie event, so we'll have pre-dinner music for a cocktail hour, as well as a 5-course dinner and the auction and a dance after to enjoy.
Celeste, what do you expect from this gala? What is your expectation? I'm seeing big because you guys dream absolutely big.
Well, we've been dreaming very big. We've had amazing support. The purpose of the hospice is to serve Southern Alberta. So my vision is that there will be a lot of community support for this event and a lot of community support from people all around us. So I see it as being a huge event. It's a huge kickstart to this, and yeah, excited, very excited to do this.
Of
So
course.
Yeah, we actually have a local jeweler. So Tompkins Jewelers will be there. They have a jeweler there, goldsmith, McKenna, who has started designing her own line. So they will have her line there at the gala for people to try on and purchase. And she's actually going to create custom pieces for the foundation that will also be available for purchase at the store, where they're going to donate a portion of the proceeds forward to us. So it's a great partnership and really nice to see another community business supporting the hospice.
Absolutely. You two ladies and the group, obviously, it's just not just you two. There's a big group that works with this, have really taken Lethbridge by its tail, because you guys have a lot of support. I can see a lot of people looking up to you and wanted to be part of this creation. I mean, this is going to be a legacy. How does it make you feel that you're involved in this, and you think back, I don't know how long this has been in the works, couple of years, 5 years, Kinga?
Yeah, it was about 2017, 2018 when we really started rolling.
Right. How does it make you feel that you now looking at at building, having a building, having events, doing interviews all over Canada, having a gala, which is going to be a big deal. Does it feel surreal sometimes?
Oh, sometimes it doesn't seem for real. Like I said, it's been in the works for a little while, but there was always that little bit of hesitation and like, okay, like for me, it was like, I can't fail. Like this can't fail. So there was always that pause of, okay, I'm a little scared to get started or a little scared to get going. But somehow I think between the last couple of years that we've all had, it's like really things can't get worse. And this is the time to really get things going. And then also the need, and especially during the COVID, of how many people passed away alone or didn't have the level of care that they needed. So I think just it was the right time and place and everything aligned, and it's just overwhelming the support that we've received. And death it's not exclusive. We're all going to experience it and we're all going to face it. So to really see the people come forward in the community, and especially the ones that had the bad experience, to and them, those ones that are really pouring out their support and helping us because they want to avoid someone else having that. So it's just been overwhelming, and we're just so excited for the years to come. So
Love it, love it. I'm very proud of all of you. I'm very proud of this event, Guided Journey. Very surprised when I heard about this, and I'm like, yes, yes, I need to support. I need to do this. I need to tell the world how incredible you guys are doing, and um, how many people you're going to be touching. And as you can see here, everyone is in the screen, the website, also how to get your ticket for the gala. I love to come. Unbelievably cold Lethbridge at that time of year, but we'll see. And the compared to Toronto, everything else in Canada. I used to live in Winterpeg, and I know what it's like. But you don't, you just lose it after a while. Minus 25, minus 30. That's cold enough, and then you go out west, and I'm like, I used to live here. Look at this. But yeah, the link is on the screen, everyone, and you can please, if you mention you saw it here on my YouTube channel or all my other social media, please, even if you want to donate or just attend if you're in Alberta area, Saskatchewan area, or if you would like to just like I said, an auction. Can people participate virtually?
Not at this time. For this one, we are really just wanting to be interactive and just very on site. So that's something that we could definitely look at going forward in the future. But we just want everyone to be present that night and enjoy it. So if we can kind of take away from the screen time and everything that night, that's what we're hoping, is just for everyone to come together. But going forward in the future, there's definitely options that we can look at having.
I hear you, Kinga. The fact that a lot of people have been Zoom and online phobia, because that's what it becomes. And I have to be really careful who I bring and how, because views now, people are starting to get tired. So we want to make sure that is an exciting show, is an exciting motive. It's things that are going to motivate people. And one of the things that I love to ask you, any of you can answer this, what would you, in the last 5 years that you've been doing this, what is the most rewarding um, moment for you? What's the response of people that look at you and Kika, why are you doing this? What is in it for you? Celeste, why are you doing this? Love to hear, because people will identify more with that than just another nonprofit organization.
I think for me, because I've been in palliative care for the last 15 years, it became a passion for me. I've nursed for quite a few years. It's just the most rewarding part of my career to be in palliative care. Just so you can support so many families, you can make such a intense event so much better for families. And I think that's always been my goal, is to make that journey easier for families to have that support around. And it's just so needed. It's just an area that I'm just so motivated to continue, and definitely has been the most rewarding part of my career, is to be in palliative care. And I'm so proud to say that I am a palliative care nurse, that I've been able to help so many families and so many patients on that journey.
And you're amazing at it. No, and I think for myself, is just to let people know that it's okay to grieve, and that death happens, and then just to create that experience. Because when I was in the funeral home, it was sad to see sometimes the disconnect that we had there. And you don't always need to have the big 300-person funeral or the whole church service or whatever it is, but just to bring that meaning of life back, because it was just getting to be, there was too much disconnect of people not wanting to be involved, or just to get it over as quick as possible, and it just kind of put it under the rug. And it's a journey, and you need to experience it and feel it and walk it. And I think that's what I really want to bring back, is like that meaning of life, and that the end of life is a part of that. So we need to connect with it and not be ashamed of it, and just experience it and go through that cycle. So for me, that's the big important thing, is just to bring the meaning of life back, and then going forward with that. So
Good answer, and I can definitely understand where you guys come from. One of the things that there is, I find, not sure how it works in Alberta, but in Ontario, there is a lot of the funeral, and not a lot about the after, the post passing. How do you deal with that? People that are grieving to the point that they cannot let go. Are you guys promote or help with the bereavement part of losing someone?
absolutely, we are. At our hospice, we will have a non-denominational chapel, as well as a smudging room. There's a lot of aspects to our building that we want to keep families together. So just because as soon as a loved one passes, doesn't mean that it's you need to leave now and let's go and let's have the funeral home take over. We want to be there for that aftercare and help with that transition. And just from the time that a family comes through our doors, just getting them prepared for everything. So before the passing, during, and then after, so that they don't have that overwhelming sense. As a director, I found a lot of times it was easy, well, not easy, but we were able to walk through the funeral process and have something created and made. But it was the aftermath after, where it was like, now what do we do? And what do we do with the government and work and wills and estates and banking? So there's a whole other next level. So if we can just get families in the proper cares from the time of when they come to us, to take every level of burden and most of the responsibility of, they're able to be more present and in the moment with their loved one.
I just wanted to add to that. I think, too, when you provide good palliative care, a lot of the palliative care is preparing people for what's to come, what that looks like, advanced care planning, that people have their wishes known, that the families know their wishes. And if you can provide that pre-care prior to death, then it eases the burden of grief following. But there is no time limit on grief. It's just a matter of finding a new normal and a way to carry that grief gracefully, because that event will always be a part of your heart.
Absolutely.
So it isn't like, okay, this was a month ago, so you should be able to do this. You should be able to do that. So it's walking families through that grief, but it's also preparing them prior to the death for how things are going to look. And that grief period can be years. But like I say, it's just trying to support that and helping them carry that grief gracefully.
Well said. Yes, and a lot of people do take a long period of time to get over it. And I think for us too is having faith, and also being able to be with my father for that long period of time, it made it a lot easier, and seeing the suffering and being able to be there with him, it made it a lot easier. Both of you do this full time? I assume that some of you have a significant other, children, maybe a job. How do you manage to be able to run a nonprofit organization and be a mother, a wife, or working? I'm very curious to know how this happens.
You just keep going.
We keep going, and it's the support. We have a great team, and we're all on the same page as to what we want to accomplish. And that comes with our family and our loved ones too. The support that they're giving us, and knowing that we want to help, and they're into that as well. I know when we were preparing for our first walk, like even my 5-year-old was stuffing bags and getting the parents ready. So we all kind of come together. So yeah, it's busy. It takes us away sometimes, but at the same time, it also brings us together. So, and I think everyone in our circles just knows our vision and what we want to accomplish, and just the scope and the magnitude of the size of this project. That yeah, everyone's just willing to be on board and they want to see it happen and see it through.
That's awesome that you have such a supportive family, friends, and neighbors, and the whole community is able to see what you're trying to accomplish. And I think you already talked about the what would you like to see in the future, and we're almost there. I mean, your future is coming now, right? Have a facility, have a building, people be able to contribute. I still you registered just now as a nonprofit organization. Anything else that you see in the future? And by the way, just throw it out there. I find that when you say it, it comes true.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know the future. Just honestly, just we're just wanting to be there on people's journey, right? So, right now we're just taking it in baby steps. Let's get our building up and make sure that it's staffed with the best people for it, and even the community volunteers that are wanting to be hands-on, and so we're truly so blessed, and who knows what the future is going to bring, and maybe a second location, but we're not jumping to anything. We just want to make sure that our main priority is to get this building up and running, and if we're fortunate enough to expand our level of care to a second facility down the road, we would love to see that happen, but we really
Wow.
just want to solidify our
Right.
plan now and make sure that we're running perfect, and then see what happens in the future.
I did mention earlier about your beautiful logo. So, who come up with that? You had a designer. I know there's tons of volunteers. One of the organizers that contacted me. I'm a huge help. I can see. So, tell us a little bit about the logo. It's incredible.
Well, it all was brought together as a team. I've always loved dragonflies. I don't know why. They've always just had a big meaning for myself. And then also the dragonfly story. It just merits a passing. And the hands were a big one for was just to lock in that community sense, that we're all in this together, just to have that embrace of like a hug, or there's something big about touch during this time, right? So in that moment when someone passes, like just have someone come and hold your hand, or to give you that embrace hug, and just really hold you. You have that secure feeling that everything's going to be okay.
Hmm.
We went back and forth in regards to the people in the hand. We started off with just a couple, and then there's more than just, some people don't have a spouse, or some people don't have, or whatever. We just really want to bring it together that there's more people involved in a passing. So we just wanted to really, once again, bring in that community feel that we are in this together. Cooper Lyon, who's on our board, he's our web designer, logo designer. He does all our social media, Instagram, all of that. Celeste and I, we don't touch computers. I'm pretty sure we make them break. So if it wasn't for Cooper, we would not be in a very good position. So a lot of this is for him as well, for all his hard work. And then the color, just something about teal and the blues. It's very tranquil, and the water feeling, and just very calming. So yeah,
So we threw out all the ideas, and we have to give a lot of credit to Cooper, because he's the one that kept redesigning and designing, and we're saying, okay, we have this vision, figure that out, and he'd come up with something, and it all worked out brilliantly. But it was his work and his skill that brought us the logo. So
Yeah, and it's beautiful. When I saw it, it really touched me. Again, identify in a personal level because what I went through, and I'm hoping that all of you that are watching or will be watching later on, because this is safe here in our YouTube channel and all our social media. The website is right here in front of you, Guided Journeys, and you are on which social media? I can see a couple of them or four of them.
Yeah, so we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, I do believe, and YouTube. So I had to double check with Cooper here.
Beautiful. So this recording will be here on my YouTube channel, but if your designer would like to download this and put it on your website for us to keep promoting the event that is coming up, which is going to be an incredible event. This gala, I am so dying Kinga, Floss and Flair.
Sorry, I didn't catch the question. It cut off there.
The name of the event, Floss and Flair.
Yeah, so that we came up with at one of our board meetings. We just wanted just something upbeat and just the theme of it too, especially having the jewelry line there. It's a very exciting event. So we just want to stand out and yeah, anything with sparkle and anything to catch people's attention, right? Yeah, perfect.
So you know what Lethbridge winters are like.
Yeah,
that's where the frost came in. So we thought, okay, let's go with
every time I go in to Alberta is summertime or even fall. I have not been there in the winter yet, so I'm not sure. Ladies, it's been an honor, privilege to be able to hear your story, how this organization came about, your dreams, what you're accomplishing. This has been an eye-opener for me, and hopefully is for you as well that is watching here right now. And if you would like to support, please donate. If you are in Lethbridge area, if you're in Alberta, make sure you get your ticket, donate, volunteer. The opportunities are endless, and I want to do my part here too as well, right from Ontario, Toronto. So this has been an incredible talk with you two ladies. Any last word, Kinga, Celeste?
We really want to thank you just for supporting our foundation and the cause and our vision, and to know that this is coast to coast now, and everyone can be in touch with what we're doing here and help us is greatly appreciated. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much. I wish you could be here on the 26th. So we'll carry in our heart and remember this day, and thank you very much for your support and encouragement.
Thank you so much, everyone. And we'll talk a little bit behind the scene. And this is it, guys. We'll be right back with another show tomorrow here on the LizyT Show.
Thank you very much.